What's up? Little baseball, not bad today. I like it. We need to start this show off with Rubio Dimes, though. Rubio Dimes came out with a great idea. He put everybody saying football today in a Twitter promotional video. I saw Mangone's nipples. I saw Kate Fallick eating delicious ice cubes. I saw 4 or 5 people. I had no idea who the hell they were. I saw the Siege. I saw fucking Siege in there, Rubio. Where's me and my cat, you motherfucker?
The worst part was, I'm sorry. Holden was really good, too. Holden was holding...
Redo it. Redo it.
Cat. You were holding
Redo it.
I'm sorry, Holden. Hey, that's
no,
on...
No, there's no I'm sorry. Redo the goddamn video.
You texted it to me. That's why I got lost.
Redo the video. I want a new one for Sunday, Rubio.
All right. I'll give you your own video.
I literally had no idea who half the people in the video were. DC's holding the puppy. I'm like, how is DC not getting some ass after this? Boynton, were you in it?
No, I didn't have time today.
Did Rubio forget to post yours too?
Oh, boy.
No, I didn't send anything to Rubio. I figured that we'd have enough, and from the clips that I saw, that it was going to be good anyways, specifically Mangone's.
Mangone stole the show, but Holden would have. He had a large pussy cat.
Well, you're going to redo that. I want the video with me in it. Come out with episode 2. Let's go.
Episode 2 will just be you and maybe Steve.
Sunday episode 2. That's it.
All right, you got my word, Holden. You got my word. I promise.
You're lucky. You're one of my favorite people at RPS, because if it was someone else like Tony, I'd be way up his ass.
It's a high bar. I know.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. I expect that goddamn video on Sunday, though. I'm not happy.
I'll put it in my calendar right now.
Do it. Yeah. It was a great video, by the way. Rubio really did a good job. So we got Madison was in it. That always helps. Tony's in it. Everybody's just saying football. So, Steve, maybe you could send Rubio one too, and you and me can do like a little tandem football video. Although you like baseball more. You can just say baseball.
Now that we have until Sunday, yeah, sure. I have time.
Does Holden know who everyone on the show is? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I even did a show with Bryce, a.k.a. Third and Schlong, today. So that was kind of nice to do that. I'm glad Mangone actually could send a video. His internet is just a complete debacle right now. He couldn't even do anything. Anyways, guys, football's tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to try and play some baseball. I still throw my lineups. I'm playing actually only one lineup tonight, get my showdown shit together. But you know what? This is the baseball crew, and there's no giving up. There's always grinding. DC, Mr. Baseball over here, 6-game slate. Where's your head right now? Let's be honest. Where's your head right now? Is it Chiefs? You like the Chiefs. Chiefs, Lions, or 6-game baseball slate?
Well, I woke up very, very excited for football. I'm a Chiefs fan. Always Mahomes. I was the first guy on him way back in the day before he even made a start in the NFL, and have been riding the coattails ever since with Mr. Mahomes. Made me a fair amount of cash over the course of his career. I knew people were going to be on the Lions. You know, it's a trendy pick every year to pick against the Chiefs, pick against Mahomes. Everybody loves to go against the GOAT. And now with Kelsey out, right, just gives them that little, or probably out, we don't know that for sure, just gives them that little extra nudge to jump on the Lions. All the public jumping on the Lions, thinking they're going to beat the Chiefs. Not going to happen. So I knew it was going to be a good day football-wise. And it was kind of like, short baseball slate. There's still money to be made. We'll get to it. And then I look up the schedule. I look up, the starting lineups, who's pitching. And what do I see? Mr. Adam Wainwright pitching.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that got me. That made it move a little bit. So I was that kind of got the baseball gears back in order. And I knew, when you see Adam Wainwright pitching against the Braves, you only got one choice. You got to play 5 Braves in any lineup that you make, and you got to figure out how to make that work. So that was the baseball task for today. I think I've got some, cheaper. No one's going to be that low owned, obviously, in the 6-game slate, but excited about baseball too. And listen, if Adam Wainwright pulls something out of his ass and shuts down the Braves tonight, I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, well, then you know what? We got a Chiefs game starting up an hour later. So it's going to be a fun night of sports. Looking forward to it all.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I'm looking at the salaries here. Wainwright is more expensive. Well, actually, they took too many prices down for the Braves. There's only 4 guys that are 5K and above in the lineup tonight. So the rest of them, Adam Wainwright's more expensive than. I'm a little surprised, to be perfectly honest with you. Steve, did you look at the baseball slate yet?
I have looked at the baseball slate. I'm also excited for the NFL. I'm with DC when that line dropped to 4 the other day. I took Chiefs -4.
Yeah.
Going to be riding that tonight with a bunch of props. So pumped for both. I'll be watching both. I'm obviously with him on the Waino take. We talked about it. I think it was last week on Friday when we saw that the Cardinals were going to Atlanta. We're like, all right, we hope that Waino is in, pitches one of these games. Both the Braves and the Dodgers have been, after that series that they played each other. I think neither team has won since. Little hangover from that series. But yeah, baseball's still going. My Orioles have won 5 in a row. They got 88 wins, only 2 wins behind the Braves. So yeah, I'm having a great summer of baseball. The next 2 months are just awesome up until, for me, when college basketball starts. So excited for the NFL to be back. College football has been fun so far, and the stretch run of MLB.
So I suppose the good news, I'm just looking at the lineups here. Austin Riley's feeling sick. He's 5,700. He's out. Sean Murphy, 4,900. DC, this might be the night. This might be the night we can just play with the Braves. The problem is I'm only playing one lineup, and I'm sticking to it because I got too much showdown to do tonight. So maybe you can help me build the Braves with one lineup, because this is a MME slate here with the Braves. You want to get every single one of these goddamn guys in your lineup. No question.
I'll be honest. Even with the Braves playing late, right, I'm focused on football as well. Got showdown lineups on FanDuel, DraftKings, Yahoo. And truthfully, this is a kind of a tough showdown slate with what the Chiefs are going to do with their wide receiver core, right? They're going to play 6-7 wide receivers.
Yep.
We think no Travis Kelce. It's a tough one to break down. So I've been working on that most of the day, playing one lineup as well on both DraftKings and FanDuel for baseball. And it's just a matter of which 5 Braves, right, is kind of the thing you got to figure out. Obviously, fitting the puzzle pieces around them is going to be important as well.
Yeah, just waiting on that Travis Kelce. If it breaks during the show, I'll let everybody know. That's obviously the big one. That's the big story. So don't believe what you see on Twitter, too. You've got a bunch of jabronis out there now that anybody can have the goddamn blue check mark. It's like, here we go. He's out. He's out. Nick Wright said he's out against the Lions. Nick Wright used to do sports talk in Kansas City, so maybe he has somebody. But I'm not going to go with Nick Wright as my source. So we'll let you know what happens. Jahmyr Gibbs is my guy. Absolutely all over this dude. Cannot wait to see him play in an NFL game tonight. Cannot wait. All right. Can y'all help me with one game? What would that be, Don? Play a New Amsterdam We Trust? So
which game?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can y'all help me with one game? What is the game?
We're going to try to help you with all the games.
Oh, here we go. He wants a betting question. Is Marlins plus 102 money line a good pick for today? Well, first of all, it's plus money, so that's good. But what do we got? Pepio versus, you know what? Pepio's on the mound. That might not be a horrible play. I haven't dug into that one. I'm really not betting baseball today. But any thoughts on that, guys? Pepio can be had.
I'm on the other side of that one. I like the Dodgers.
Goyers? Okay.
Yeah. I will say Miami's won 6 in a row. They're at home here. Braxton's been fine. I would just want more plus money than basically even up against the Dodgers.
Okay. Very good. Let's get into the slate then. We got pitching to talk about. Again, just 6 games. But Adam Wainwright, you know what, DC? Since it is football, let's do it backwards today. Let's just get fucking crazy, dude. Let's go from 4K up to 7,500. We'll go down to Davis. I know. I'm switching it up. I'm absolutely insane right now. I don't think I've slept in 3 days. Let's just do it, man. Let's just get nuts tonight. We got an opener for the Angels and Davis Daniel. Nice name. We got Adam Wainwright at 5K. He's going to have negative points tonight. I think we can almost guarantee that. Cal Quantrill, Zach Littell. Assad's on the mound. Javier Assad's on the mound for the Cubs tonight. So let's do that. Rodon down to the bottom, because if you want to play the big Braves, you're going to have to spend down at least one pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Can you handle this?
I can, I think.
Okay.
We'll do our best. I think a lot of people are going to go to Carlos Rodon tonight, and I get it against the Tigers. Steve, we've been kind of on the fade Rodon train since he came back. He's had 2 pretty solid outings in a row, especially when you consider the opponents at Houston, at Tampa Bay. So maybe turning a corner a little bit, but still is chalk, something I'm not comfortable playing. So I get Rodon. He's on my list just because, any reasonable play on a 6-game slate kind of needs to be, but I'll probably go elsewhere. I even probably prefer Javier Assad, who's actually been pretty good for the Cubs, kind of surprisingly so. I think he's an interesting play. Pitching at home in Wrigley, it's not not hot like it was over the weekend, down to 65 degrees and winds blowing in, so it's going to be good pitching conditions there. I think Assad is a pretty good play. I really like Zach Littell against Seattle, down at 6,200. I've been on him a little bit over this run. Kind of limited in the pitch count. You're probably looking at 80 to 90, and I do get Seattle's got some dangerous bats, but I do still like Littell a fair bit as a talent, and still a good place to pitch right at home. There is plenty of strikeouts to be had in that Seattle lineup, so I think Littell could potentially get there. The 3 guys that are off of my list: Ryan Nelson, Cal Quantrill, Adam Wainwright. No interest in those 3 guys. And then I think the wild card down here is Davis Daniel pitching for the Angels, making his MLB debut. Hasn't pitched. I'd never heard of this guy till today, to be honest. But hasn't pitched above A ball, getting called up to make the start. But did get up to 92 pitches in his last start, and he has been, lights out down there. Obviously, a big jump up coming up to the big leagues from A ball, but he is stretched out. And what does he have? A 37-5 strikeout to walk ratio in not that many innings. So he's been awesome. Kind of hard to know what to expect from him. I don't know how deep you were able to dive in on Davis Daniel, Boynton, but I think at least interesting at 4K on a slate where we obviously want to pay for those big Braves bats. So yeah, he is on my radar. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with him, in this next hour and a half or so.
Wasn't Griffin Canning supposed to go?
Yeah, he was. So it's a new thing too.
Yeah. Just real quick, Kelsey's out officially. No Travis Kelce tonight. So that's the big news in the sports world. Let's get Boynton's thoughts here. We'll go down low. Well, we'll go 7,500 and down. Rodon down to Davis Daniel. I thought Davis with Daniel was in AAA. No,
he was last year. He got hurt, and for some reason they started him at A ball this year. He wasn't very good at AAA last year. Also, he's 26 years old. Not really much of a prospect. Had a 6 xFIP in 102 innings at AAA last year. But he's 4K, and the Braves are facing Wainwright. I'll start with Assad. I've got him in my core tonight. He's at 7-3 at home here in Wrigley. I've got the long sleeves on. It's chilly. Like DC said, the wind's blowing in. Really good spot for him. And, he's been usable for basically 5 straight starts here. A bunch of them have been on the road. It's just a really good spot for pitchers in general. Coming off 8 innings in his last start against the Reds. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing 5 Braves. I want to be able to get to them. I'm playing Assad over Rodon. I think that Rodon's going to come in as the highest owned pitcher on the slate, maybe the second highest. But, I just don't trust him. He doesn't look good. The last game against Houston, he scored 16 on DK, but was extremely lucky. I was on Houston that night, so I watched that game. He got 1 ground ball, 12 fly ball outs. It's pretty warm in New York. I actually like Tigers bats here going up against Rodon, who just hasn't had it. And especially at that ownership, I'm going to be off of him and play some Tigers power bats, including our guy, Uncle T, who had some surgery this morning. I think Uncle T is going to take Rodon deep for us tonight. Besides that, at pitcher under 7,500, I played Littell the last couple starts. Hasn't been great, but, he's very cheap at home in that dome. I think he's fine at 6'2", And then the Diamondbacks are calling back up Ryan Nelson, who's been down in the minors for about a month. They tweaked his pitch mix a bit, and he was pitching well in the minors. Not a guy that I would play on a larger slate, but he's 5'9" in a game at Wrigley where it's going to be in the high 50s with wind blowing in. So going to be tough to score there. If I were playing a bunch of lineups, I would mix in Nelson. I wouldn't even mind playing both pitchers at Wrigley if you want to play like Olsen and Acuna and like Judge and stuff like that. So those are the three guys I have under 7,500 here with a strong lean towards Assad.
Okay, real quick before we move on, what'd you think of the Old Guys pod that dropped yesterday?
I listened to it this morning. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
awesome episode. Need more of the bullshitting and less of the plays, though. I know it's the opposite of what everyone requests, but
I think we have a lot of new subscribers. Like a completely different crowd has come in, and then they listen to the show and they're like, "Where's the football?" It's like we're just old people that are complaining about shit, threatening. And listen, I just asked. I need Uncle T's number because me and JT basically scared him to death. Like I hope he's not dead. That's it. Be near.
Yeah, the first half hour of the pod was elite.
Yeah, it's a good time. Old Guys pod, check it out. DC, righty then, buddy. We got the rest of the pitching, so we'll go 8-2 and above. Go Braxton Garrett, Pepio, Erod's out there against the Yankees. Wonder what you think about him. Max Fried against the Cardinals, and Luis Castillo on the road at Tampa. Where are we going to pay up tonight?
Yeah, just like the nature of the slate where, like I said, I'm getting 5 Braves in my lineup. There's no question about it. And one of them will not be Nicky Lopez. So that leaves, a lot of expensive dudes to pick from, the other 8 guys, which means kind of right away, Luis Castillo, the best pitcher on the slate, the most talented, but he's kind of off my list. Just, not a perfect matchup against Tampa Bay, 11K. It's just not where I want to spend my salary tonight. Personally, he's on the road where he hasn't been nearly as sharp this season. Enough, you can poke enough holes in Luis Castillo, I think, to cross him off on this particular slate. I'll say the same thing about Max Fried. I know he's coming off a really awesome outing against the Dodgers. So maybe he's turned the corner after a long injury layoff and then kind of came back, wasn't quite as sharp. Listen, if you can do that against the Dodgers, of course you can do that against the Cardinals. But still, a dangerous lineup for the Cardinals. They do have a lot of right-handed power there, which can get to Fried at times. I think I would prefer Fried over Luis Castillo just with the savings, but I don't think I'll be playing either one myself. And then Erod is kind of in that same boat, 9,100. He's expensive. Again, a pretty good matchup against the Yankees. But this lineup's coming alive a little bit with Stanton, Judge, Jason Dominguez up there. I think Erod at that price point was a relatively easy cross off. Those top 3 guys, those top 3 highest price guys, I would personally rank them Fried 1, Castillo 2, Rodriguez 3. But again, probably playing 1 or maybe a few lineups tonight now that I kind of like some of these cheaper pitchers. But yeah, not going to those expensive guys. But if I did, again, Fried, Castillo, Rodriguez in that order. And then that brings us to Ryan Pepio, who I like. I think he's a talented arm. He's looked pretty good to me in his really good in his 3 outings in the big leagues since getting called up. What's he given up? 2 earned runs and 14 innings, something like that. Good strikeout stuff in the minor leagues. Got up to 84 pitches in the last start and gets to pitch in Miami in a pretty solid matchup against the Marlins. So I think Pepio's got a lot going for him. I know we had the question about the Marlins money line, but I actually think the Dodgers should be bigger favorites in this one personally. So I'm in on Pepio. He was kind of top of my list when I was first looking at this slate earlier, but yeah, I think Pepio's a good option. And then I think Assad, Littell, and then all the way at the bottom, he's a total unknown, Davis Daniel, but I am willing to play him at 4K on this particular slate. So really those 4 guys, probably going to make up all of my pool depending on, how many lineups I do end up playing.
Steve, who's the spend up tonight? Fried, Rodriguez, Pepio, Garrett, Castillo. Where do we want to roll here?
Yeah, really good pitching slate overall, I think, for a 6-gamer. I've got a lot of interest in a bunch of these guys. I wish I was playing more lineups tonight. I've got Fried as my number one. I'm going to be playing him on my main team back-to-back. Really, really nice outings, going deep into games. He's a minus 310 fave here. I just see him scoring 20-plus pretty easily, and I was able to get to him with my Braves 5-mans because, like Holden said, the lineup doesn't have Riley in it. It's got Lopez starting. So a couple cheaper options in the Braves lineup. Darno's starting over Murphy too. So, there's some savings there as well. So with the lineup that the Braves put out, I was able to get to Fried as my SP1. Really need Castillo to bounce back here personally. We've got the Cy Young future on him. Had a rough outing against the Mets last time out. It's basically down to like him and Cole, I think, for the AL Cy Young. So want him to pitch well here. It's just a tough click for me at 11K when I want to play 5 Braves. I played a bunch of Erod in that last start. No one was on him in that road start against the White Sox. He looked awesome, fully stretched. He's basically had one bad outing in the last 2 months, and it was the outing against the Astros, who are just smashing everyone right now. I think if you're playing multiple lineups, Rodriguez is a really, really interesting option. Yankees are going to be popular. They have been hitting lefties much better of late, but I don't know. I think I'm just higher personally on Erod than most are. He's really had a hell of a season. He was hurt for a bit, but it's been great since coming back, and no one ever clicks him. So I think he's an interesting contrarian option. Looking at Saberson, they've got him under 10% on the slate with only 6 games. So I like him as a contrarian option. And then, that's pretty much my pool. If I were playing 20 tonight, I would have Pepio there. But right now it's Fried, Assad, and Erod are my 3 favorite pitchers on the entire slate.
Yeah, that Erod call is a very interesting one, right? Because he goes back and forth between the good starts and the bad starts. The Yankees have been top 10 against lefties in the second half. But then again, sometimes you go out and you see Erod and he just crushes. The ultimate GPP play tonight. GPP play tonight. Yeah, no question. R. Cathella back. What up? I don't know. I kind of like Castillo. A lot of the pitching is questionable. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. There's only 6 games tonight. And you really, I don't think have one guy that stands out that much above the rest. Let's get to, is this a free show or a premium show? I have no freaking idea.
I think we're free today.
Oh, we're free. Hey, free guys, hit the like button. And if you haven't joined yet, NFL 17 is the promo code, 17% off lifetime of your subscription. Lifetime of your subscription. Our football package is just ridiculous. We teed it off today. We got showdown content, live content, taped content. We got JBC and Wiley coming up for up to lock for NFL Showdown. That's a premium show, I believe. It'll take you an hour before the start of the game. Those 2 guys will talk shit to each other and give you the winners. And that's really what we want. That's what we're here for. Still grinding the baseball with these 2 guys, Gary and a whole bunch of others, grinding the baseball through the rest of the season. U.S. Open tennis, Susie's been kicking ass there. We've got so many different sports. Think of a sport, we probably got it. Besides from motocross, we don't have motocross. We were asked one time when we had motocross. We don't. But if that gets a little bigger, we'll definitely get into it. But like button, NFL 17. Let's move on. The game du jour, it's going to be the Braves and the Cardinals. We're not starting there, though. We're starting with Seattle at Tampa Bay. Again, Luis Castillo against Zach Littell. If we're looking to get a lower-owned stack tonight, can we find it in this game, DC?
Yes, when we talk about these games, I mean, like you said, I think you're crazy, or anyone's crazy, not to be playing 5 Braves in your lineup against Adam Wainwright. So what that means, right, we're kind of looking for one-offs, the best one-offs against all of these pitchers. At least that's what I'm doing. Preferably cheap guys, obviously, because the Braves are expensive. So with that said, with Littell, you definitely want the lefties. I think J.P. Crawford, the best play. Cal Raleigh, I think you can make a case for him as one of the better catcher plays, hitting third for the Mariners tonight. Don't mind it. I won't be going to this game much, to be honest, for offense. And then the Rays lefties, Brandon Lowe, Josh Lau, both look decent. And Luke Raley, I think, a decent play too. But I mean, two teams fighting hard for the playoffs down the stretch here. Two good bullpens. You're going to see, I think, a close game here. Two pretty good starting pitchers. So I'll be surprised if this game goes crazy for offense.
Okay. Steve, you want to take a dive into game number 1 tonight, or is it a full fade?
Yeah, good real life series, right? Seattle's been red hot. Rays are fighting. This will be on my second TV until the Chiefs game starts. This is going to be a good one here. Kind of a sneaky high total, like a higher total than I thought. Sabres got it up over 9 in this park. That kind of surprised me. But, both teams are hot with the bats. But with that comes higher prices. And that's kind of what we see on both sides. I didn't end up with anything here. But I could see I do prefer the Seattle side just because although I do like Littell and I've played him some lately, like their bats are just so hot. Do like the back of the order here. We've seen Josh Rojas have some good games. Canzone's hitting 5th tonight. He's been good as well. And then one note with Riley not in the lineup, we're going to be hunting plays at third base just because the Braves don't even have an active third baseman on DK. So Gino Suarez at 4-3, I think is interesting. Just because he's third base eligible and he's going to be pretty low on the slate. Sabres got him under 5%, guy with power. So I don't mind that, but would mainly be the back half of the lineup here for Seattle.
Okay, that's game number 1. You guys got any questions? We'll throw them up here. Pone80. Steve, are you in Wrigleyville or Wicker Park? Neither.
I'm in West Loop, actually.
He probably wants to grab a high noon with you, buddy. By the way,
I'm in Wrigleyville and Wicker Park fairly often. They're good bars in both spots.
DC, were you the one that invited Siege to be in the hype video, or was that somebody else?
No, it wasn't me. I actually I got a call from Big T, a couple hours ago demanding that I submit a video. My initial request to make a video was denied. Now that we're under new corporate leadership, we're getting all PC. But with Twitter, Elon Musk cracking down on impersonation accounts. Some people may know some of my best days on Twitter have been impersonating Mr. Booger McFarland as my account. But I got a lot of followers on Twitter. I've been grinding that account for 10 years. I don't really want to get banned, so I haven't done that in a while. But I thought the next best thing was for this video to dress up in blackface as Booger.
Oh God! Oh my! All right, that's enough. No,
but I was denied that opportunity and had to go with the puppy.
Thank God. I mean, thank God.
Yeah. Disappointing.
The puppy was a good fallback option, I will say.
Yeah, good job, DC. Way to change your mind, buddy. I would say that.
What about Booger with the puppy? That'd have been.
No. Let's just. I'm sorry, I asked. It's almost impossible to make me uncomfortable, but here we are. Okay. Dodgers-Marlins. This one's in Miami tonight. Pepio versus Braxton Garrett. Yeah, I kind of busted Pepio's balls a little bit, but he's been serviceable at the least. I mean, if he can get you 5 innings, maybe he gets you 15, 18 points tonight. So let's talk about this. How are we attacking this game? Are there some Dodgers bats we can always go to? DC, I know it's going to be tough to throw guys in there like Freddie Freeman at 6-1 and Betts at 6-7 if we're playing the Braves, but anywhere we can go here for a mini stack.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers side better for sure. I'm a pretty big believer in Pepio's talent. He's been really good, even pitching in the AAA hitters park there, and good in his 3 starts at the big league level. So I'm not on the Marlins side. Obviously, a nice pitcher's park here in Miami too. Do you think Mookie Betts is kind of the guy I want to get in there for obvious reasons? He's just been incredible. I do have respect though for Braxton Garrett as a pitcher, ability to limit damage. I don't think he's that likely to blow up. So I didn't really see the Dodgers as a super viable stack tonight. But the top of the lineup is obviously Betts, Freeman, Will Smith. If you wanted to throw in, I guess, you could stack, but not for me personally. Betts my favorite play in this game. And listen, I think you can double punt pitcher today. I made a couple extra lineups like Littell and Daniel or Littell and Assad. It does leave you with quite a bit of salary. So, yeah, I think Betts pretty good spot for him.
Okay, very good. Anywhere we can go in this game, Steve, if we're stacking the Braves, is there a cheap bat or two you want to play?
Well, I was going to say basically just what DC just said. If you're comfortable with two of the cheaper pitchers, you can 5-man the Braves with like a Betts Freeman mini, especially if you play the Angels guy. So I've got a couple lineups that do just that. You're hoping that he gets you 10 or 12. And but yeah, I mean, I'm going to 5-man the Braves on every lineup. So it's just basically picking secondaries here. So depending on your pitching, I think that it's interesting. I haven't played the Dodgers much of late just because with their current roster, there's just so much pinch hit risk now. I mean, even in this lineup tonight, you've got Taylor, Kike, Rojas, Barnes. I could see DC. I could see any of those guys getting pinch hit for the second Garrett comes out of the game. They've got a lot of lefties on the bench, Hayward, and so on. So yeah, I don't love the full stack here. I do think that it's really interesting going to a secondary stack with the expensive guys like Muncy, Freeman, Betts, especially since we don't have Riley at third. You can play those three with a Braves 5-man if you bite the bullet and play the Angels guy at pitcher.
Okay, game number 3, Yankees and Tigers. Again, Rodon and Rodriguez. We got a couple lefties here. Yankees, I'll say it again, they've been hitting lefties better. They have actually been playing some good baseball too. Haven't they won like 8 or 9 or something like that? They've been playing good baseball lately. Too little, too late. It seems like DC, maybe, just maybe we can find a Yankees bat in here. I think Steve said he liked a little Tigers mini. I could be wrong. But where are we going here?
Yeah, I think you can definitely find bats here. Giancarlo Stanton would be my favorite play on the Yankees side. He's been awesome against lefties this year. I've talked about his incredibly low strikeout rate. Obviously, still has all that power. Obviously, Aaron Judge, Jason Dominguez, Gleyber Torres. I think he'll get the Yankees somewhat popular. I know Steve's on Eduardo Rodriguez. I actually lean that side as well. But I don't mind the Yankees. They definitely have a lot of upside. There's no question about it. But I prefer the Tigers side. Specifically the heart of that lineup. Spencer Torkelson has been awesome against lefties, especially in the second half of this year. Andy Ibanez, super cheap, 2,400 in the 3-hole. And then Steve talked about him earlier. Uncle T, Jake Rogers. I know we got some it was free show, so we got some freeloaders. Probably didn't know who you were referring to when you said load up on Uncle T.
I realized that afterwards.
That is Jake Rogers in the 4-hole catching for the Tigers today.
Okay. Uncle T, you're playing him tonight, Boyden. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Who else am I pairing him with?
Uncle T's in the core, yeah. I like the Tigers here. I actually bet them first 5 plus 140-ish. I like that more than the Marlins bet here. I think that they can score a bit off of Rodon early, and I don't really want to mess with the Yankees bullpen. So I'll take the first 5 for Detroit here. Yeah, I think that Rodon's going to be very high owned, like I said before, and I'm going to take some chances on the Tigers' power right-handed bats. Guys like Jake Rogers, Torkelson's expensive, but he's been good against lefties all season. And then the Tigers actually have 2 guys available at third base for that Austin Riley spot. Matt Vierling is leading off. And then in the 9-hole, they've got Andre Lipsius, who is very cheap, who helps you fit in some Braves. So, yeah, I like the Tigers a lot for secondary stacks, and I will be going to them with my Braves on the majority of my lineups, actually.
Andre Lipsius, first and third tonight. If you wanted to play a third baseman because you don't have Austin Riley, I think it's a nice little fit. I really want to play d'Arnaud tonight, though. Steve, raw points, Jake Rogers versus d'Arnaud.
I think they probably both crush because, Rogers definitely had a bomb for Uncle T in his shoulder. So
DC playing the Jake Rogers Uncle T narrative.
I like Jake Rogers too with the discount, but if you're asking me raw points, I got to go with the guy facing that.
Go with Eddie Brave in the 1v1 today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just start with Lipschitz. If his Lipschitz, what does his ass do? It's an old joke. Okay, St. Louis at Atlanta. All right, DC, Atlanta. Come on, give it to me. Versus Wainwright. Bloviate.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, how do you rank the Braves? I'll have 5 in every lineup. Nicky Lopez, like I said, I'm leaving him out. That's a long-standing position that I will not be moving from until he learns to hit the ball farther than I can. But then, the rest of the 8 I think are all in play. Lopez, my least favorite of the 9. I think Ozzie Albies probably my second. Maybe substitute Mookie Betts in where, in that second base spot where a lot will be playing Albies in the 5-man Brave stack. Obviously, you need to go very cheap pitching if you want to try that. Definitely give me Ozuna over Rosario as well. And then, Acuna, Olsen. I'd rank them Acuna, Olsen, Ozuna, Darno, Harris, Arcia, Albies, Rosario, Lopez. There you go. That's ranked at all 9. I actually think the Cardinals aren't the craziest plays in the world. We saw, obviously, they beat up Spencer Strider last night, somewhat shockingly. They're capable of it, and they still do have a lot of guys with power against lefties hitting well this series. O'Neill, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Jordan Walker. I think they're all pretty reasonable plays against what will be a pretty popular max free tonight.
Steve, how are you building the Braves, dude?
Oh, man. I agree with most of what DC said there. As far as the studs, I rank them Acuna, Olsen, Albies. I think you were the same there, DC. Ozuna has just been red hot over the last 2-3 weeks. He's a tough fade here.
He also just strikes me as Ozuna does, someone that would just mash Adam Wainwright with his,
all these guys strike me as guys.
I know, but Ozuna in particular just seems like he's just like ready to just launch one off of Wainwright. But anyway.
I was going through the home run props, because we have a page on our site where we have some fun and post home run props. Michael Harris's was up at plus 800 earlier, so I did put that in. Anyone over like plus 400 in this game, I think, is probably too long of odds. So I did fire at that Harris. I probably play too much Harris, honestly. So I've got Ozuna, Harris, Rosario in the outfield. Yeah, man. Like we've said all show, playing 5 Braves on every lineup. If I was playing my normal 20, I'd probably even do the same thing. So it's just how do you play them? We've talked about the third base spot with Riley being out. I think second base is interesting too, DC, because they've got 2 guys at second. One of them's probably overpriced, and then one of them is just bad. So I think it's interesting what you do at second and third with this Braves team. It's all systems go. Wainwright got through his start last time, but it's not happening here.
By the way, Austin Riley must be feeling very under the weather. I don't think he's missed a game all year. His first one he misses against Adam Wainwright. He must be
really sick.
He must be going through it. So hope you're doing all right, Austin Riley.
He's got the squirts. You don't want to play with the squirts, do you?
Maybe he's a Chiefs fan. Who knows?
Maybe he's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we got Arizona at the Cubs. Steve, I'll just go to you. Anytime there's a game in Chicago in your backyard, wind's blowing in. Why are we bothering here?
I won't have any bats here. I do think that, like I said before, if you don't want to go all the way down to the Angels free guy, I don't mind playing both pitchers here. Nelson's not great, but in pitching conditions like this, I think basically any major league starter can succeed, and he is cheap enough on a slate where we want to play Braves, where I think it's viable.
Bean Air, smoking that crack. NFL season opener. Yankees winning the World Series. Yes, DC. We want bats in this one.
When it's cool with winds blowing in, that'll be the case tonight. Obviously, with a lot of pretty good spots in the Braves on the slate. So no hitters for me. It would definitely be the Cubs side I would go to. Really no interest at all in the D-back side of this one. I think, the studs from the Cubs, Suzuki in particular has just been red hot. He's still cheap. I think he's a fine play, but give me the Braves outfielders over all these guys.
All right. Final game of the night, Cleveland at the Angels. I was just doing a little math here. Angels were 500 on August 9th, So no, they are 6-18 since that time. They've lost 18 of the last 26 games, I want to say. They're a debacle, but they're going up against Quantrill tonight. But Quantrill just had a decent start. No one's going to be on this game, right, DC? So maybe we can get a little different here, get a little freaky.
Yeah, no one's playing this. Coming from chat, Redmond, Jordan Lawler making his debut, I believe, today. Stud rookie for the D-backs. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. He's a pretty good punt if you need the savings at shortstop, which is a decent position to have it, right? Because Orlando Arcia, decent hitter, but not the highest upside guy in the world. So, yeah, did want to call that out on the Jordan Lawler. Back to Guardians, Angels. Yeah, and there's no way I'm playing Cal Quantrill like ever. I think when we get the Angels lineup, I think there is probably some good value to be had. Nolan, how do you say his name? Chanel? I don't even know.
Shanuel?
Shanuel? Yeah, well, that sounds better than mine. I think is a decent play there, assuming he's leading off. And then, I mean, I really don't know what to expect from Davis Daniel, but and I know the numbers are at a very low level, but still some pretty eye-popping numbers he's put up. And you have to believe the Angels have some level of faith. Not that it means much because it is the Angels, but they're calling up a guy from single A, skipping over whoever scrubs they got at double A or triple A. Pretty rare for a team to do that. So they must have some reason to believe he could potentially find success. A little bit of a bump from that for me with Davis Daniel. On this particular slate at 4K, yeah, I'll absolutely roll the dice against a pretty bad Guardians lineup.
You want to roll some dice tonight, Boynton? Want to play anything in this game?
I actually looked at some Cleveland before I saw these projected ownerships from Sabre. DC, they've got every bat over 10%. Jose Ramirez almost 30%. There's the third base spot that
makes me like Daniel more.
Yeah, right. I just don't want to play these shit bats at that ownership.
Yeah.
Josh Naylor is back. I think he'd probably be my favorite at first if you're not going to spend up on Olsen. But yeah, I'm not going to have any bats in this game. Just hoping it's low scoring and just not on the winner here, honestly.
So we're done. I mean, that was it. Another quick baseball show. I want to remind everybody that coming up in just a little bit, leading you up to lock, we got our showdown, a new showdown team. Now, we'll be doing showdown all over the place. I'm doing cash showdown with like Mangone and Third and Schlong, Tony, JSU, AP. All these guys are still going to be doing the showdown content. But Wiley and JBC, if you don't know them, welcome them to the team. They got a premium show, Up to Lock, showdown show Up to Lock. We have not had this before. This place is pretty cool. We got a lot of neat new features that are going on here. So I'm excited about what's going on. Again, leading you an hour before the game starts. So what is that? 8 o'clock Eastern. So 7 o'clock Eastern up until about 8:20. Those two guys will be talking shit to each other and giving you the winners. So that's very, very important stuff. DC, who is the play O the night?
We're going to go with Mr. Marcel Ozuna. Going to feast on Adam Wainwright and Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock. Chiefs money line plus Braves money line. Get yourself a little bit of free cash there. Little parlay.
You actually made fun of my parlay the other day. He put a laughing sign by it. So instead, when he got into a fight, I put a laughing sign by him, and then I asked him if he was okay.
I was feeling spicy with that. It was funny.
Me and our guy JJ from the bet side last year, we'd have these we'd try and manipulate the lines so we get plus money on an alt line. So I got the Lions plus 10.5 and under 61.5 at like plus 115.
You're on the Lions here, aren't you, Holden? You would be one of the lemmings.
That's plus 7. I was on the plus 7. I would not be on the plus 4. That would be absolutely asinine. Give me those 3 points. I got the plus 7. I'm happy with it. And the only thing I'm going to invest in now, and I'm upset I didn't get in on it at the time, was the Mahomes rushing prop at 15.5. Yeah. It's sitting at 18.5. If we can get a low first quarter from him, or maybe the Lions have the ball a lot, if we can get that back to even 16.5, I'll bet it.
I'll give one more. I'll give a football play for the people as well. Okay. It's going to be a chalky, but I think Noah Gray is a good player who's been blocked by Travis Kelce. I think he's going to step into the exact same role that Kelce had. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a player Travis Kelce is, but I think he's going to be targeted. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lead the Chiefs in targets. And I think the best showdown move tonight is to play that cheap Noah Gray and just leave salary on the table, because no one has any idea which of the Chiefs wide receivers it's going to be. If you play one of them with Noah Gray, you can end up with 3, 4, 5K on the table. I think those lineups are extremely viable tonight.
Steven, play the night.
So I just pulled up your Braves-Chiefs parlay. It's -109. I'm going to put that in right now.
Hell yeah, man. Lock it up.
That is going in. My play of the day is going to be Uncle T. Coming off the shoulder surgery this morning. He's been crushing lefties all season. 7 bombs is only 83 at-bats against lefties. That's like 1 for every 12 at-bats. That is in line with some of the better hitters in the league. 313 ISO. He's cheap on DraftKings. I'm going with Jake Rogers as my play of the day. Shout out Uncle T.
Royers, yeah. I need Uncle T's number. I hit up Tony, but he's too busy apparently. I need to text him, make sure he's not dead. Has anybody texted him or heard from him?
Yeah, I'll send it to you in Discord.
Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. NFL 17's the code. I'm going Travis Darno, and that'll do it. It's football season, baby. Showdown up to lock. Wiley JBC coming up in less than an hour? So about 45 minutes from right now, those two dudes are going to be taking you home. Let's go win some money tonight in baseball. The NFL's back for DC and Boynton. I'm Holden. Keep running pure.